anime. I absolutely hate anime. I absolutely hate and despise anime. It is such a time drain for young men who are watching 70 hours of a show that they already know the end is going to be, that the guy kills all the villains and rises to the top. I mean, the storylines are so basic, and yet people are putting all this time and energy into it. Find something productive to do with your life if you're going to put 30 hours into anime.
So, I was just talking about bitches, right? And speaking of bitches, I feel like the problem with a lot of niggas is that they don't understand them, right? Because they're fat incels. So, a couple videos before, I might have said some shit about a nigga that I thought was an incel. And that nigga had to be Leafy is here.
Yeah.
What do you think about Leafy?
I think he was a pioneer in his genre. And I think he should be respected at the end of the day.
I respect him as a man.
Well, I don't think you got to hurl all those insults at him.
Well,
especially when they're not right, when they're not true.
Well, he might get bitches, but he has a reason why to get bitches.
But he's not quote unquote fat incel. So are you gonna officially attract that? Do you condemn Hamas?
No. Hey, you cannot condemn Hamas if you don't fucking condemn the Proud Boys.
That's kind of true, actually.
Real nigga shit.
That's when I got recruited to them. I was like, maybe not now, but
he's not a real Proud Boy. I am a real Rosicrucian, right? I don't have the tattoo yet, but I am really part of them.
Anyway, welcome to episode 4 of The Black Truth. I'm Franklin K-Side. This is
Nicholas Myra.
That's the name he's going by now.
Nick Myra, Nicholas Myra. My real name is Nicholas, but Myra is my new name. My new last name.
So, a lot of new stuff happened in the news. Anything you want to go over that you remember off the top of the head that's happened this week? A lot of stuff's going to be going on.
A lot of stuff. Okay, so I guess one topic of conversation I want to bring up is Obama and Donald Trump talking at the Jimmy Carter funeral.
I don't know. I think that one's just. I think some people when they saw that, they were like, "Oh, this is so cool! Everyone's coming together." You know, it's not really that big of a deal. You know, we're all big one country. But the way I see it is, I think Trump's getting compromised, and I think him being with Obama, talking that. I think what was cool about Trump was that like no one liked him and shit, so people were able to, or so he would be able to be like an outsider. But some people, the way they see it is that like, oh, he's an insider now. He's in the group now, so of course they're gonna like him and stuff.
I think he's been part of the group though.
Yeah, I think he's been part of the group.
Well, if you're on our side of the political spectrum, which is it left or right?
Yeah. I would say he's been bought out. So I don't really think anything good is going to come out of the Trump. I don't think anything bad in it, but I don't think anything truly great, truly like American Renaissance is going to happen in that thing. So I don't know. It just doesn't look good. His whole. I mean, I like that he's not in jail and stuff, but that Obama scene, like, I don't know, I don't really think it's really too important. Or I think it's kind of important, but I don't think it leads anything good. So that's going to give us to our next topic, which is like 2 Joe Rogan episodes. I know we're a podcast, but I guess we're going to talk about another podcast, the most popular one, I think, the 2 Joe Rogan ones. So the first one was the one with Mel Gibson
and Wes Huff.
I think no, it was the one with Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh! So then there's 3.
Wait, who's Wes Huff?
Wes Huff, he's the one that won the debate with Billy Carson.
Oh.
He won the debate with?
I know. He told me about that, but there was like 3.
Okay, so Wes Huff Can I do that one? And then
Yeah. No, but in general, there was like 4 like Joe Rogan bangers like this week. It was like that one.
Well, okay, so can I talk about West Huff? And then we'll talk about Mel and Zuckerberg. So West Huff, I'm more Christian than you.
No, but I'm just trying to recap like how many Joe Rogan bangers were out this week.
West Huff, Zuckerberg, or rather Mel, and then Zuckerberg.
And then Theo Von.
Yeah, but Theo Von is always a banger.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm more in the comedy world than you.
How do you? Okay, what are you talking about?
I'm a comedian, man. I'm a comedian. So Wes Huff basically won a debate with Billy Carson. Billy Carson is like a conspiracy theorist that a lot of people on the internet subscribe to because they thought he was smarter than theologians, right? Because he claimed to speak ancient Syriac.
He's not as smart as Theo Von.
No, real shit though. He's not as smart as Theo Von or Wes Huff or any of these niggas that Joe Rogan's been interviewing. You know, and the thing with that is a lot of guys like Billy Carson, they lead average laymen to I don't want to say Satanism, but they lead them somewhere else. They shouldn't be, right? And Wes Huff, he was just a regular Christian that happened to know what the fuck he was talking about. And he literally defeated Billy Carson in one debate. I think with like literally a fucking day of preparation, he beat him. One day, that's it.
So he's like the Batman of like Christianity?
Yes.
Christianity?
Now, Wes Huff, or Wesley Huff, I don't agree with his denomination, because he's Baptist, but as a Christian...
Martin Luther King was also Baptist, but he was Southern Baptist.
Fuck Martin Luther King. But...
I don't know about that.
Wesley Huff, he hates him too. He just won't say it for the camera. But...
I don't know what he's saying.
But Wesley Huff was able to beat Billy Carson. And the problem is, like, a lot of Christians, they're too, like, what's the word? They're too, like this. They're too high society to debate some, like, some low-tier fucking conspiracy theorists like Billy Carson who claim to speak ancient languages that he didn't fucking speak. But guess what? Wes Huff, he spoke that shit. He spoke the ancient languages. He studied ancient history. And he won him. He won that fucking debate in one day, with 1 day of preparation.
So that's what you think about that?
Yeah, I mean...
Well, so the podcast was something else, right? You're just like losing him, but like the podcast he was on with Joe Rogan was like...
I mean, the podcast he was on with Joe Rogan is like basic shit.
Oh, okay.
If you're a Christian. But for the regular person in today's world, listening to Wes Huff is like listening to like Jesus, almost. Almost.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it a little bit.
Because Joe Rogan makes podcasts for normies that don't agree with the status quo, which is liberalism, Satanism, feminism, LGBTQ, right? So Wes Huff came along and said, hey, well, not literally, but he basically said, hey, you don't gotta be a homosexual. You don't have to be fucking liberal. You can believe in Jesus Christ, right? Because accepting Christ in your heart is not of the flesh. It's of the spirit. And that's what Wesley Huff did for everybody else.
Okay, next part.
He's laying
Next one.
He's laying the groundwork from now, end of 2024 to 2025, going on. He laid the fucking groundwork. And me, Nicholas Myra, plan on keeping that shit going forward. Even when I'm talking about fucking rappers, I'll still bring it back to Christ. Because as a man, if you're not bringing niggas to the cross, you're not a fucking man.
Okay. Now we're moving on to the next one. Honestly, I don't really have a lot of thoughts about it because I didn't.
But is it true or not?
I knew about it, but like I didn't really.
It's because we talk a lot off camera, right? I've known this nigga forever. We went to Catholic school, so we know what's right and what's wrong. But the rest of the world doesn't know.
I think most of them do. They just make exceptions.
No. They make excuses, not exceptions. They make excuses because they try to use worldly philosophies to justify their wicked ass motherfucking ways. I'm a wicked ass motherfucker, right? But
dude,
I know that
you gotta stop doing that with your hand, bro. Seriously,
what?
You gotta stop doing this with your hand. It's kind of like I saw some like the audience emails and they didn't really like that part.
Man, we don't get no motherfucking email.
Like I heard what they were saying. I listened to the community, and they did not like it when you're like I like doing this. That's just like pointing at the
I like going like this, like this, like this.
I don't like that. No, don't do that.
I like going like this.
Okay. I thought you were gonna do something else.
Like this, and like this, pointing to God. Alhamdulillah.
I thought you were gonna do something else, but
no, that's for Rumble.
Anyways, go check that pod out. Next in Joe Rogan Glazing, we're gonna be talking about Mel Gibson on JRE. Honestly, I watched some of it, but I didn't finish it. I think Mel Gibson's he's gone through some shit, so he's still kind of like not totally there, but obviously he's still a talented director. We look forward to reviewing that movie that's coming out in a few weeks. I don't know. I think the thing with Mel Gibson is that he's one of us, but at the same time, he's been media trained, so he doesn't go all out, and he kind of.
Well, you said some shit about him being on the news, and he paused.
Yeah, because someone this was like a few years when when Father Stu came out, like they started asking him about Biden, and he was just trying to do like a generic press tour.
But you say he freezed up, like he acted like weird.
No, because he started talking to like his handler or whatever, telling like, oh, what do I say or whatever, and he just left us like the thing. He didn't try to be mean or whatever, but like he just didn't know what to say. And honestly, I thought at that point, it was because he wasn't aware of like the political world or something like that. He was just trying to keep to himself. So compared to that one, compared to him on Joe Rogan, because I guess him and Joe Rogan are like actually friends. He's felt aware, but then at the same time, he felt like he was like he didn't want to say all the answers because he didn't want anything to be like credited to him. Because
he's already been accused.
Before. Yeah, and he still has a career in Hollywood. He's been kind of accepted back into Hollywood, but I doubt we're ever gonna see him in like Mad Max, like a new Mad Max, or like a new like super expensive Hollywood movie ever again, which is probably good. I like that he does his own movies and all that, but it feels like he knows what's up, but at the same time he's a media trained figure that knows how hard to actually like push things in today's society. So if he'll say something like, oh, like my friends were on ivermectin, he's not gonna say like oh, I support ivermectin. He's gonna have Joe Rogan say it, so that Joe Rogan is responsible for that, because he's more since he's a media figure, he knows how to handle that.
Well, here's the thing. I'll say in his defense, how do we know that Mel Gibson isn't a messenger from God?
I don't.
The Passion of Christ was the first movie to come out that depicted the suffrage of Christ, right? Right? So, this new movie...
Are you thirsty right now?
Yeah, I'm thirsty.
Oh, okay.
So, this new movie that he plans on coming out
Don't show the logo or anything.
Yeah, we're not sponsored.
Don't show the logo.
We're not sponsored.
Don't show the logo either.
But this new movie that he has coming out, it's gonna expose a lot of shit.
The one with Mark Wahlberg in the fucking...
No!
The one
No,
with
no, no.
Mark Wahlberg
Not
was
Flight Risk. Flight Risk is just a movie to keep us Mel fans, right?
Mel heads.
Us Mel heads satisfied, right? So, the movie after that is the big one.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the one where fucking Mark Wahlberg's like balding and he's like taking over a plane and all that stuff.
No. The next movie is going to blow everybody's fucking mind. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you've seen the Joe Rogan podcast, he basically said that he wants to talk about the demons and Satan when they fell from heaven to the death of the last apostle, right? Which I think was James. But that doesn't matter, right? That doesn't fucking matter because, well, not that the death doesn't matter, but what matters is that he's gonna expose these fucking demons, right? So it gives you more of a context of what Jesus was going through in those 3 days, right? So in those 3 days, Jesus was in hell, right? But what is hell? What is hell? Do you know what hell is? Gehenna.
I've heard the word before.
Gehenna. Sha'el.
Hades. Wait, where's my phone? I was about to get like the translator and have you say it again so I can understand it.
No, you don't need it. Trust me. You don't need it.
So I'm supposed to already understand it.
Yes.
That's like when like people start speaking to me in Spanish and they expect me to understand it.
Yes, because you're fucking Puerto Rican and Mexican. This nigga is que lo que, papi.
Stop putting false information out
Que lo que, papi. Hey, yo, papi.
That's false information.
Que tú eres, papi.
I don't know what, like, Franklin K. Side, how is any of that, like, in Puerto Rican roots? I don't understand that.
Well, Puerto Ricans think they're black.
I don't know.
Anyways. So basically, yeah. This new movie that Mel Gibson got coming out is going to be...
It's going to be like dumb popcorn entertainment. I look forward to seeing it, to be honest.
No, it's not going to be dumb popcorn entertainment because when Passion of Christ came out...
Oh, I thought you were talking about Flight Risk, bro.
No, I'm talking about the new fucking... The sequel to the Passion.
I want to see Flight Risk so bad, dude.
We're going to do a review for that.
The trailer?
We're going to do a review for that. Stay in tune. But we're talking about the resurrection. The resurrection is going to talk about demons, angels, and the death of the last apostle. Okay? If you're Catholic, Orthodox, Assyrian, or Anglican...
How about, like, Messianic?
The fuck are you talking about?
Like Messianic Christians?
The fuck out of here with that shit. If you are a member of the Apostolic Church, this movie is going to hit you. And let me tell you why. Because he's going to talk about the death of the last apostle. John, the writer of Revelation, the man who was revealed the end of times by Jesus Christ, John the Apostle, the favorite disciple of Christ, the most esoteric book in the Bible. And you know what makes it esoteric? The fact that it hasn't happened yet. Every other philosophy in the Bible, especially from the Old Testament, was fulfilled. But a lot of the but the rest of the fucking prophecies have not been fulfilled. So Mel Gibson's movie is going to be a personification of that.
Sorry, I had a purple open.
It's fine.
Maybe somebody was trying to come out to me to say something, but
yeah, this movie will not just shake up Hollywood, but the rest of the world. The same way that the Passion of Christ did. The Passion of Christ.
Were you there when they first got released?
Yeah.
You went to the theaters that day?
No, but I was an infant. But listen, I wasn't an infant. I was a toddler, actually. Right? We're Zoomers, right? Gen Z, right? But yeah, Passion of Christ sent fucking waves through the world. Because it depicted Satan not as a fucking scary ass fucking nigga, right?
Yeah.
It depicted Satan as a androgynous figure.
I think Mel Gibson stole that from Devilman. If you read that manga, but we're gonna talk about that later because he has a problem with a certain genre, a certain art form.
You want to get into that right now?
No, I want to talk about some of the other news. So
let's keep going.
There's the other news. Okay, so he's on Glazing Mel Gibson, but I feel like the biggest news this week has been. Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
You okay?
Yeah.
I feel like the biggest news that we got this week was the last Joe Rogan. I feel like the biggest news we got was the last Joe Rogan episode that we got this week, which was Mark Zuckerberg. And also on top of that, it was Mark Zuckerberg making this announcement that he's going to free Twitter, Meta, all his apps.
Twitter?
Instagram,
Facebook.
WhatsApp if you're an Indian.
If you're Mexican. Oye, cabrón, ¿tú tienes WhatsApp?
But yeah, he started saying that basically he's gonna cave in and start turning his app more free and be like Twitter. But I haven't seen any indication of that. But I think what this Joe Rogan episode was basically like a rehabilitation to make himself compatible with the upcoming Trump administration. That's why I was saying earlier, I don't feel like Trump talking to Obama and all that stuff. I don't think it's really like it really symbolized anything good, because all it means is that all these people who have harmed American society are being rehabilitated, and they're not paying like for their sins.
Well, here's what it is. The American attitude is shifting.
But we're not any of the people who were involved in the destruction of America, like they're not really getting their dues. They're not really getting.
It doesn't matter.
Do you know what Mark Zuckerberg did? Like politically?
Yeah, he's leaning more towards leftism, right?
No, that's not even that. Him and his wife signed this like this thing to force the election. Basically, he did election interference during the Biden election, so he basically got Biden elected because there was all these things that they could have done in the 2020 election to make Trump have a better chance of winning, but they literally changed like the election laws in certain states, and him and his wife were like involved in that. So it wasn't even just like, because in the Joe Rogan episode, he presents himself as this guy who was like, mostly innocent. He was just blowing wherever the wind blows, and which he was, but he did more than just like enforce certain rules. He literally like election interfered. I'll put the little sources just so you guys don't act like I'm making stuff up, but literally he did. So it's not just like, he was left leaning. No, he was way more than that. Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he was basically the president that we've been having. So it's not like what's happening right now is that people aren't the wind isn't turning one way and people are going the other. The wind is being controlled by a fucking weather machine. That's what the fuck's happening right now.
Are you a conspiracy theorist?
The weather machines are real. That's what's fucking happening right now. And no one's noticing because Mark Zuckerberg with Joe Rogan being like, oh, wow, I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know people didn't like the vaccine.
So is conservatism controlled?
The whole reason Trump won was because conservatism was compromised. That's how he won.
So do you think conservatism was naturally built and then controlled?
Yeah. Since like
2022, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's when they started shifting towards making conservatism, modern conservatism, more appealing to the masses, to have more.
Yeah, because the masses were like, man, I don't agree with that transgender stuff. I don't agree with anti-Christian rhetoric. So they were able to manipulate them into voting for their people.
No, I think it's more that there was enough mainstream of people who bought like mainstream appeal and mainstream arguments so that these things can become mass appeal. I don't think these people who were complaining, because a bunch of people they were like whatever with the transgender stuff, they don't even care. But once it became something that they kept on being shown in their face all the time, that's when it became a problem.
The natural male instinct is to go against sexual immorality.
No, but I think at this point in time, people were like okay with it. They were like, "Oh, as long as it doesn't affect my life." But now, since
it is affecting their life, whether they accept it or not.
Well, a bunch of things are affecting our lives all the time, but they don't want to accept it. Like they don't want to accept where.
But it takes niggas like us to expose it.
No. What it does, this is like a black truth. The only way these things get out there is if there's people like Elon Musk, there's people like Trump that point a light at it. That's the only time people are actually gonna start caring about these problems. And the only way people start caring about these problems if there's money behind it, which goes back to the first black truth. If you saw that episode, make sure you watch that episode if you haven't. But yeah, that's my thoughts about the whole Mark Zuckerberg interview. I think he's trying to become rehabilitated into the Trump's America. Trump's encouraging it. Joe Rogan's encouraging it. He's trying to get the masses to forget about what he did in the 2020 election. Again, I'll show proof of it in this video that I'm not making it up. But yeah, that's what I think about it. Anyway, any other topics you want to talk about, like recent events, before we get into the big black truth?
So I guess the big black truth of today's episode is
do you?
Yeah.
You want to get into other topics?
Yeah.
What's the other topic you want to talk about?
Wasting your time.
No, I'm that's the black truth. But what I'm saying is that, is there anything else you want to get into?
Yeah.
What is it?
Anime.
No, I'm talking about, do you have any other like topics?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, so now we're going to get into this week's Black Truth, and that is...
wasting your time on anything that isn't productive towards your life. So, my issue today is... Hold on. Oh! Anime! Oh, I have to watch the new episode.
All right, so the whole way how this topic was started was because
Father Moses of the Eastern Orthodox Church.
Yeah, so this guy, he shared a video on his Instagram. You go follow him at whatever his thing is. I'll put the little thing here if I remember to edit it, and I'll put the video here right now, the one that he reposted. And I was kind of bothered by that because it seems like the medium of anime, which is basically covers Japanese animation, Japanese video games, Japanese computer games, Japanese manga, Japanese comics, all those fields. For some reason, I don't like how some conservatives just outright deny or suggest that anime is bad for you, and because some people, they have good arguments towards not liking them, but most of them are half baked, and then obviously there's people like that guy. What's his name again?
Father Moses,
who just vaguely say, "Oh, it's a waste of time for men, blah blah blah. You shouldn't do it," which I don't understand. What is he trying to say? He's trying to say.
So, I think what he's trying to communicate is that, excuse me, spending so much time watching a anime is a waste of time. You could be doing so much more with that time.
But what does he mean like watching an anime? Because what he's doing, he's basically blaming an entire medium.
I think what he's doing is a lot of niggas that convert from, or not convert, but convert from Catholicism or Protestantism to Orthodoxy, or they revert back to Catholicism or Orthodoxy. I think his issue is that these guys who happen to be on the internet a lot, because most people don't understand Catholic or Orthodox theology, right? Because they're not on the internet so much, right? Now, I do think Catholicism is true. Roman Catholicism is true. Orthodoxy, Eastern Orthodoxy is the second truth. But he's looking at it from their point of view, and he's like, damn, these fucking kids, they just want to watch anime, and that's it. But anime as an art form, I respect it.
That's what I don't get, like, the whole dilemma is
because he's associating the guys. Because I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, right? A lot of these guys that are traditional Catholics, they're fucking weirdos, right? So a lot of these weird ass niggas like watching anime, right? Stereotypically speaking, right? They only watch anime or whatever fucking classical movie they came out 40, 50 years ago.
So why isn't that movie getting blamed, but anime is?
Because anime,
because
the movie is only 2 hours long.
But you can watch a bunch of movies.
But how long does an anime take to finish?
Well, it depends on what you're talking about.
It depends on what anime.
I'm gonna show you examples.
Let me hear it.
All right, so one of my favorite recent ones, Turn A Gundam, 50 episodes. Have it on DVD. Only 50 episodes. That's not a lot.
How many hours is it?
Says it. So 625 minutes. And they're like 20 episodes of. Can you grab your calculator real quick? Mm-hmm. So we can figure that out because
we're minorities and we don't know how to do math.
We didn't go to college. I went to some of it, but you know. So
I never went to college, nigga, and I make more money than the nigga you're going out with.
So just do like 50 times 20. 50 times 20. Oh, I could probably do it in my head. Can I do that in my head?
50 times 20. 1,000 hours.
No, that's by the minutes. So do it like divided by 3.
50 divided by 3?
No. 50 times 20. Because they're 50 20-minute episodes. So that'll be 1,000 minutes.
Yeah.
Divided by 3.
3.33.
So 333 hours.
333.33.
My math is like off the goop. But no, it should be by 60. My bad.
All right, let's start all over.
So, well, no, because I'm just undoing it. Dang. Oh wait. So, let me figure out the math. So do 50 divided by 3.
60.6.
Did you wait? 60? 60 divided by 3. 60.
Yeah.
60 divided by 3, and then so 60 divided by 3.
16.66.
60. Oh my gosh, I can't figure this out.
So basically,
it's a
17 hours.
Oh no, I figured it out. Okay,
17 hours dedicated to an anime as opposed to 2 hours.
but it's still
to a movie.
But you got to understand, there are some story mediums that have to work out in a longer format.
I agree with that.
There's some stories that...
So from my point of view, me as Nicholas Myra, I like anime, but my issue with anime is people that... And my issue with anime...
It doesn't have anything to do with the medium, it has to do with the people.
The people, right? Yes. My
you can
issue...
say that for the Quran, too.
But
you can say that for the Torah, too.
You mean the Talmud?
Well, the people who only read the Torah, not the New Testament.
Go to Rumble, guys. So, my issue with anime is the same issue I have with sports. Why do you know so much about that? Why do you know so much about baseball? Why do you know so much about Naruto?
Because it's something that
entertains you.
Yeah.
But why do you only live your life to be entertained?
It was something that was given to us in this life. It's something that someone made.
It doesn't matter.
Someone made to be shared.
You have to wake up and realize.
Why do you think artists create art? To honor God. To honor God.
They don't make art to honor God anymore.
Yeah, no, but then Yoshiyuki Tomino, when he created Turn A Gundam.
Who the fuck is that?
He's the director of Turn A Gundam.
Okay. Now, when did he make that shit?
He made it in 1999, same year The Phantom Menace came out.
1999, Americans were still Christian. The Phantom Menace came out when Americans were still Christian.
Yeah.
But America, not just America, but the West was a whole different fucking world. The world we live in now is not Christian. It's secular.
That's why anime is here, because it's the last form of traditional storytelling.
How?
Because every other format, every other TV, modern TV, all they are basically just like reels of images that are collected. There's no sense of modern storytelling. Anime is still the only medium that's able to embrace serialized storytelling. To a degree that the story...
Well, I agree with that, but the thing is this. Is it really worth spending all your time?
Well, I don't spend all my time watching anime.
Well, maybe not you, but what about other people?
Anything in abundance is bad.
That's true. Just like the guy...
So why isn't anyone targeting people who watch too many reels? You know how many TikToks the average American watches? Too much.
Yeah, but people...
But that guy, that father, whatever, Father Mosby or whatever from Sweet Like His Dad, Cody, he wasn't saying, oh, you gotta stop watching this reel, stop watching this reel. No, because he likes it that people are getting mad that he talks bad about anime.
Because the
last form of art that exists in a high competency.
Because people that, how do I say this? He knows...
He just wants attention.
Because he knows...
He should apostatize. He just wants attention.
Because he knows that these anime-ass niggas are going to see that video or see that clip. And it's going to bring them towards Christ.
What do you say?
Because here's the thing. I don't give a fuck how many animes you watch, how many fucking sports events you watch. It'll never bring you back to Christ. The only thing that'll bring you back to Christ is this. The Holy Bible. Read the story of Christ. It's in the Bible. It's even in the New Testament. If you're a Christian, right? Every story written about in the West or inspired by the West is about Christ. Because Christ gave himself for the rest of humankind. And that's what every fucking superhero does. They give themselves to the rest of society.
So how come that guy doesn't talk about like anything else influencing people? How come he doesn't talk to Muslims the same way, insulting them so he could turn to Christ?
Because he knows that Muslims care more about Islam than fucking anime. And I've worked with Muslims, and Muslims will die for the Quran before Attack on Titan. Alhamdulillah.
But why doesn't he attack them the same way he attacks people who watch anime?
Because
he could say the same thing. He could say,
because he's media trained.
He could say, yeah. So he's gonna attack these people who can take it the same way the media attacks Christianity. He won't talk about like any of the other things affecting people because.
But anime is not Christianity.
There's a lot of things that aren't Christian that he could talk about, but he's gonna attack anime fans.
I'm trying to find the verse, but Jesus Christ says, "What greater love is there than to die for your friends?" And I'm not dying for my friends. I'm dying for everybody in the world who I consider a friend. Because I love them. I love them because Christ told me to love them.
So why does that guy have to father Moses or whatever?
Because he's a representation of Christ. He's a priest. Just how Yahweh, Jehovah, Hashem, Yahweh, Diosito told the Jewish people to love him.
Do you think that he would talk to anyone who watches like too much Seinfeld and would tell them, "Oh, watching Seinfeld is a waste of time"? You know why he wouldn't say that? you know why he wouldn't say that?
I know why
he wouldn't say, because the channel would probably be shut down. His channel would probably be shut down if you said stop watching Seinfeld.
I agree.
His channel would probably be shut down if they told him stop watching Modern Family.
I agree.
Modern Family is a waste of time.
So it doesn't matter what he says. It matters what Christ says. Now, if you as a person are overly obsessed with sports, anime, video games, anything, even politics, it doesn't matter what you think. You're fucking wrong. Because everything you think you believe is right here. In its correct form.
Well, I can understand that, but I can't understand just making like these basic like claims.
Well, you have to understand it from their perspective. They never seen anime. They don't understand it as an art form.
Then why would he comment on?
Because he associates anime with losers. It doesn't mean that every nigga that watches anime is a loser, but we associate anime with losers.
Why don't people associate like watching movies with losers? It's the
because you can take a bitch to go see a movie.
So, but why can't you see a quote unquote bitch? I don't like referring to women as bitches.
I hate bitches. I hate women.
What qualifies anime to be something that you can't watch with a quote unquote bitch?
Because a lot of women, right, especially if you live in an urban area, not even if you live in an urban area, it just depends on what girl you talk to. Some women, they love anime. Some women hate anime. They fucking hate anime. Right? It just depends on who you're talking to. And I feel like I'm going to argue with the feelings. Never argue with feelings. But I feel like most women that you talk to, they don't want to hear about anime.
Well,
because they associate anime.
All right, we're back. We had another technical difficulty, but we're back. I'd like to thank Apple for creating a competent storage function so that everyone who has an iPhone can like record over their storage. Really appreciate that. I really appreciate that Android has followed onto that and only allow phones to have a certain amount of storage. Yeah, I like it. I don't know if you know, do you know that, like, what's it called? Like, you can technically, like, if you modify any, like, iPhone, like, illegally, they'll just, like, lock it out and, like, you can't use it.
I had no idea.
That's why I used to mess with Android, but Android does the same thing. But anyway, we were talking about how, like, women don't like anime, in your opinion.
I don't think women don't like anime.
You literally just said that, like.
Well, let me clarify. It's not that I don't think anime or women don't like niggas that like anime. They just don't like weeaboos. women do not like nerds. They like nerdy ass niggas.
But what does it have to do with this alleged priest disavowing anime?
Because he doesn't understand that anime is just an art form, and he's associating all anime enjoyers as one group, and that group is weird ass motherfucking weeaboos that only care about watching anime all the time. Now, my point of contention with him is...
You actually didn't have a point because you literally shared the post and everything.
Well, I agree with it. I agree with it, but you should share that same criticism with niggas that watch sports all the time. You're not the nigga out there throwing the ball. So why do you care? Is it because you're invested in the DraftKings? Which is fine. That's fine. If you're making your money, that's fine. But if you're not making money off, oh, this guy threw the ball a certain way, then who fucking gives a shit?
Because for sports, it's...
Unless you're participating in the sports.
It's tribalism.
If you're participating in the sports or the DraftKings, then yeah, it's a valid source of... It's valid.
It's a form of tribalism regurgitated to the masses.
It's fine if you're participating in the sports, but a lot of these niggas are not. And if you're not going to participate in the sport, at the very least, bet money on it. And if you're not going to bet money on it, then what the fuck do I got to say?
So what's the anime equivalent to betting on sports? Is it buying manga and hoping that it's going to resell and have money later on?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing you can do?
Yeah. At least with sports, you could bet on it. But anime, what the fuck can you bet on anime?
You can bet that you're going to enjoy it at the end.
Are you going to get money for it?
No, they actually cost money. But it's okay, so I enjoy this hobby so much.
So then what's the lesser of two evils? Watching a sport. Because at least you could bet on it.
But I think gambling is bad. I don't think it really goes anywhere.
From what point of view?
It's just a form of dopamine. But everything's a form of dopamine.
Everything?
Everything's a form of dopamine.
So then what is life itself?
It's a form of social dopamine. Because you are engaging in an act that requires other people to participate in it. And
so at least you're participating with other people.
Yeah. But it all has the same outcome.
Which is?
You lose money, you gain money. No one ever actually gains money from gambling, any form of gambling.
Yeah, if you know what the fuck to do.
That's fake.
Where'd you get that from?
Have you watched Casino? Martin Scorsese?
Yes, I have.
Everything, at the end of the day, everything's there to waste time, or allegedly waste time. What isn't there to waste time?
Making money.
Making money just to distract you.
From what?
From, I don't know.
From
world,
God.
The world that's coming.
You failed the fucking question.
From the world that's
coming.
From
God. From God.
You literally let me finish it. The world that's coming.
What is the world that's coming?
Afterlife.
Okay.
That's
true.
Revelation.
That's true, but not everybody believes in that. Most people go to hell. The kingdom of heaven is the size of a keyhole. The size of the gates of hell are for everybody.
I never said that. I never said heaven. I said the afterlife.
There's only two ways to go after the afterlife: to heaven or to hell.
That's why I just said the after. I didn't say heaven or hell.
It doesn't matter.
I just said.
So what side do you want to choose?
Heaven.
So stop watching.
Well, how is watching anime not gonna get you to heaven? I need like factual points. Like what is bad about anime? Because literally this whole entire pod you've just been saying, oh, it's bad, and literally you can replace this with movie.
I agree. You can
replace this with Western TV show.
I agree.
You can replace this with Chinese soap opera. You can replace this with anything, but everyone likes to attack anime because it's a quote unquote easy target, because it's a form of entertainment that actually gets people talking, that people actually in this modern era talk about, but they don't want to explain why it's bad.
I think for me, the way I look at anime is the same way I look at sports. Anything in excess.
Then why won't you share a post talking about sports being bad?
Because at least I can make money from that. How do I make money from?
Have you made money from sports?
Yes.
When?
I'm not gonna say it on camera.
Why? If you don't have a problem with them, then why? Then how?
I'll tell you off camera.
Okay, so basically, you're saying that you were like, oh, which is the lesser of two evils, and you can't even admit the one that you did.
Well, I'll say sports only because you could bet on it. If I could bet on anime, then yeah, I would say anime. I respect anime as an art form. I think Berserk, my favorite fucking form of fiction I've ever read, is the best. And I think Berserk explores the human psyche. But can I bet on it? Can I make any money off Berserk?
Well, like, you have a bunch of other books you have that you can't bet on, so it's like, what's the point?
Yeah, but those books, I can learn from them and apply it to my real life.
You can't learn from fiction? Any other fiction?
Yeah, but what am I going to learn from an anime? I've never seen an anime that's taught me anything positive about life.
Well, this is the thing. There's anime that can not just be about action and adventure. They could be about, like, totally different lifestyles, or teach you something that you didn't know about.
Berserk taught me that life fucking sucks.
Okay, so you learned that from that. Well, how can you learn anything from something else? From any other anime?
Goku or Dragon Ball Z taught me that you got to be a part of the master race to make it ahead in life.
So you're saying you have learned things. You just said that you didn't, now you're saying you have.
Well, I have, but how do I apply that to me? If I'm not part of the master race...
You can say that for any of your other fictional books that you read. Like how?
What fictional books?
The only like 12 Rules for Life.
That's not fiction.
Yeah, it is.
That's based on reality. It's based on psychology and Christianity.
What's another one?
Fyodor, you could have said that.
Any like...
Okay, Fyodor Dostoevsky.
You're just saying that because it's been acknowledged by the larger academic force.
Who is the larger academic force?
The Wagner School.
I don't know who the fuck that is, but Fyodor Dostoevsky talks about the inner soul, right? Now, I think anime does that too, but it doesn't give you the alternative. What's the alternative to the soul and what the soul wants?
What?
Relationship with God. I've never gotten that from an anime.
How many anime have you seen? Because you're giving these vague things and like you've only seen like 2 anime. So you could watch only like 2 movies and you'll get the same conclusion.
Yeah, the conclusion is that I can make my life better. And I can learn that from anywhere else.
So why are you particularly attacking anime?
Because why am I going to hear a story that's 70 hours long when I can hear that story in half that's only 2 hours
Because
long?
some stories are meant to be told in longer formats. It's
That's
the same
true,
thing.
but is that going to benefit you in the long run?
Well, watching a 2-hour movie is not going to benefit you.
But that's 2 hours versus 30 hours.
If you're just getting smaller pieces of the story, How's that gonna help you? It's like if you watched Berserk only for the Black Swordsman arc. You just watch that part and you're like, oh, how's this gonna help me?
Well, you see the struggles that he has to go through to save Casca.
But you're just getting one piece. You don't even know who Casca is. Casca isn't in Black Swordsman.
Yeah, she is.
No, she's not.
Black Swordsman? No.
The first 3 volumes of Brother, she's not.
Yeah, no, she's not in it. But she's the reason why. But she's the reason why he's the way he is in Black Swordsman.
Yeah, but she's literally not in Black Swordsman. You literally just get a piece of the story, because some stories, again, are meant to be told in longer pieces. Other stories can be told in 2 hours. So who's to tell that one story is better than the other?
Can you say the Bible in 2 hours?
No, but you can watch a movie adaptation of a part of the Bible, but that's it. I'm not going to say that was a waste of my life watching that movie if I could read the Bible, even though one's in a longer format than the other. If I were to use the idea that the Bible isn't ultimately better, but I wouldn't say that. Every story has its own purpose.
So, do you think the Bible is just a story?
No, that's why I said I wouldn't have that opinion if I just thought it was all fiction.
So, do you think every story is surrounded around the idea of there being a higher being, and that being is God?
Yeah, because that's how you make art.
So you think all art is towards God?
Yeah, because why else would you make art?
To glorify yourself or the demons?
Do you have an example of that? Like any person that
Prima Bravovich.
And what's her art?
Satanic.
No, but what is her art?
I can't say it on camera. But it has to do with children.
What medium is her art in?
Painting.
So the way you can rationalize that by saying is that they're trying to appeal to who they think their God is.
And their God is Satan.
But that's what they think. But in general, it is true that people make art to honor their God. But it just matters if their God's right.
And
I won't deny the Japanese, their Shinto, whatever. It might not be right, but it's what they see to honor.
Yeah, but the only true God is, because I always look at everything from a Catholic point of view.
Yeah.
And from my point of view, the only truth is Catholicism. Because Catholic means universal. So anybody and everybody can be part of the kingdom of God.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.